We are picking up so many guys that are not going to be sticking around for the Amud Yomi shir tonight. It's great. So we are picking up about 15 lines from the top of Dalet Amud Beis. We're at the 2 dots, so we're starting with the fresh thing. So the Mishnah had said that it started giving examples, and it said that if the 14th falls on a Monday, it first starts out by saying that the Megillah could be read on the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, or 15th, and then it starts giving examples, and it says if it falls on a Monday, then it's this. If Tuesday, so the Gemara is going to ask a question now. The Gemara asks, "Ma'ishna Reisha Dunakat Sidur Diyarcha." Why is it the beginning of the Mishnah? It started by following out the days of the month. Again, saying that we do on the 11th, 12th. Through the 15th. And then the Mishnah starts giving examples, and it says that if Purim falls out, if the 14th falls out on a Monday, then you read on then this is the day that everyone reads. And if it's on a Tuesday, it's this day. Why did it switch from the dates to the days? So the Gemara answers, because if we would give examples by saying that it would be the opposite way that we'd have to be going with the days. But for example, if the 14th falls out on a Sunday, okay, then we would say that the people that live in the villages would read on the 11th. If the 14th falls on a Shabbos, then they would read on the 12th. So you're going backwards in days, which is a little bit more confusing. So in order just to make it that it's going to read nicely, the Mishnah switched from dates to days. Okay, the next part of the Mishnah said, Chalios B'Erev Shabbos. If let's say the 14th falls out on Shabbos, so he said that the people that live in the villages would go to the Yom HaKnisa, which would be to Thursday, and then everyone else would read. The people that lived in the cities and the people that lived in the walled cities, they would read on Friday. So the Gemara asked now, and this is what we started talking about last night. What the Gemara is going to do right now, it's going to find out who is the Tan of our Mishnah that said that, and it's going to say that it could be Rebbe or Rabbi Yossi. It's going to explain why it could be Rebbe, why it could be Rabbi Yossi, and it's going to ask questions on both. But that's just the methodology. It's going to say it could be Rebbe. Going to ask 2 questions. It could be Rabbi Yossi. It's going to ask 2 questions, and it's going to show there could be either one of them. So who does the Mishnah follow? Rabbi Yossi, go to like either one of them. My Rabbi, which Mishnah are we talking about from Rabbi? The Tani we learned in a Brayso. Chalios B'Erev Shabbos. Let's say the 14th falls out on Friday. So in that case, you can't. The walled cities cannot read on the 15th. Why? Because the 15th is Shabbos, and you never read on the 15th, which the Gemara will explain at the bottom of the Yamud why you're not able to do it. But if you read on the, but you said that everyone reads on the 14th. So if it falls out, if the 14th falls out on a Friday, so Kfar Barayis Gedolos Maktim Liyam HaKnisa. So the villages and the large cities that are not walled, so they go back and they read on the day on the Yom HaKnisa, which is Thursday. And the walled cities will read on Friday, again, which is the 14th, but they can't read on the 15th because the 15th is Shabbos, and Shabbos, the Megillah, is going to be Muksa. Rebbe Omer, and Rebbe says, which is we're going to show that our mission that we learned on Beis Amud Aleph is going to follow Rebbe. Rebbe Omer, Omerani, that I say, Lo Yitzchu Ayaros B'Mkomam, we don't move the cities away from the regular day, and they're going to read on Friday. Ella Elu Ve'elu Karam B'Bayom, both the unwalled cities and the walled cities are both going to read on Friday, which is the day that say. What is going on? It's like part of the build.
It's going through the plaques.
Oh, okay.
It's looking at the plaques.
Nice. Okay. No, it's all good. I like it's kind of like a beat music. Okay, so the Gemara says, so my time of the Tanna Kama. What's the reason the Tanna Kama said that when the 14th falls out on Friday, then we said that the unwalled cities, they move back a day to Thursday. Why did he say that? It says in the pasuk in the Megillah, B'chol shana v'shana, that each and every year. So what do we learn from that? My kol shana v'shana, arayos kadam l'mukafin, that just like each and every year, the unwalled cities read before the walled cities, so too, Afkan, Ayaros Kodomus Mukaf, and so too, the unwalled cities have to read before the walled cities. Since the walled cities have to read on Friday the 14th, it must be that the unwalled cities are going to have to move up one day to the 13th. So Gemara asks on that, let's learn from that pasuk that Ma Kol Shana V'Shana Eini Dachan Arayos Mimkomen, that just like every year we don't move the unwalled cities from the day that they're supposed to read, and they always read whatever day it falls out. So Afkan lo Yitchel Arayos Mimkomen, we shouldn't move them from where they fall out, and they should read on the 14th. Why move it to the 13th? So we're going to answer Shani Hachadelo, actually, because it's impossible. Because, like we said, since the walled cities cannot read on the 15th, and they have to read on the 14th, and the other ones are going to read beforehand, so they have to move up a day. That is the first opinion, the saying that it was according to the Tanna Kama. Now we're going to explain Rebbe, and then the Gemara is going to ask the exact same questions, going again to each shita. So if you got the first one, you'll have the next 3. Rebbe, my time. What's the reason that Rebbe said that both the unwalled cities and the walled cities are going to read on Friday the 14th. So it says, again, he learns from the same passage. B'chal shana v'shana, it says in the Megillah that every year and year that you're supposed to read it. So what does that mean? Ma'kal shana v'shana ein arayos nidachim imkoma, that just like each and every year, the cities don't get moved from where they were, which again, so the city landed, so it landed out on the 14th. So the 14th was on Friday. Afkan lo yitzcha yaros b'mkoman. So to now, it fell out on the 14th. So even though the walled cities need to be moved, that they cannot read on the 15th, which is Shabbos, they have to read on the 14th, but we don't change the 14th, and the unwalled cities are going to also read on 14th. We don't move them up to the Yom HaKnisa. Gemara asks the same question we asked before. Why do we say that B'chal Shana V'Shana is just like we say that every year the unwalled cities read before the walled cities, so too now they should read before the walled cities, and you should move the unwalled cities to the 13th. More answers, Shani Hachadalo, after it's impossible, because like we said, since the walled cities cannot read on the 15th, they have to stand on that, they cannot read on their normal day, so we keep it on the day that it is. Now the Gemara is going to, that was according, so right now, our mission that we learned before, that said that the unwalled cities read on Friday the 14th, that goes like Rebbe. Now the Gemara is going to show that it could be like Rabbi Yossi also from another brisa. It's going to ask the exact same questions that we just asked. My Rabbi Yossi, what's the halacha? Where do we see from Rabbi Yossi the same thing? Titania, Chalios B'Rav Shabbos, if let's say the 14th of Adar falls out on Friday, so Mukafin Ukfar Makdim Liyom HaKnisa, the walled cities, which we've never had this before, the walled cities and the villages will move to the Yom HaKnisa. Okay, so they're going to go to Thursday. The walled cities, which normally would read on the 15th, are now going to go to the 13th, which is a Thursday. And also the villages, which this we've already learned, we're familiar with, the villages are able to go to the Yom HaKnisa, which is also Thursday. And the large unwalled cities are going to stay on the regular day that they are on the 14th. Okay? I'm sorry, Rabbi Yossi Omer, Emu Kafin Kodman Larayos. We don't say that the walled cities can't go before the walled cities, except we say that both the unwalled cities and the walled cities are going to read on Friday. So this you see that Rabbi Yossi also holds that just like our Mishnah said, that you cannot, that when the 14th falls out on a Friday, that the unwalled cities read on a Friday, so too this is Rabbi Yossi saying. He says that you can't have that unwalled cities are going to be reading after the walled cities, so therefore they're also going to read on the 14th. So now the Gemara is going to ask, my time of the Tanna Kama. What's the reason on Tanna Kama that says that when Friday falls out on the when Yudal is on the 14th, we say that the walled cities and the villages are going to read on Thursday. It says, like we said, just like every year, the unwalled cities always read on the 14th. And we don't have that the walled cities and the unwalled cities read on the same day. They never do. Unwalled cities are on the 14th. Walled cities are on the 15th. So, Afkan, Ayaros Ba'arba Asar, the unwalled cities are going to read on the 14th like they always do. And because you can't have that the 14th and the 15th are the same day, because B'chal Shana V'Shana teaches us that they're also going to be separate, so you can't have the walled cities reading on Shabbos, which is the 15th, so therefore, and they can't read on the 14th because Lo Zmanu Shel Zeh is not Zmanu Shel Zeh. Each one are separate days. So therefore, the walled cities are going to read on Thursday, and the unwalled cities are going to read on Friday. That's according to Tanna Kama. So Gemara asks, so why don't we ask the question and say that just like every year, you don't have that the walled cities read before the unwalled cities, why don't we say the same thing that here also when the 14th falls out on Friday, and you're saying that the walled cities are going to jump up to Thursday, why don't we say that the walled cities can't read before the unwalled cities? My answer, Shani Hachadalo Esher, because like we just showed you, it's impossible. You can't have, they have to have separate distinct days, so it has to be that the unwalled cities are stay on the 14th, the walled cities are they're going to go precede them, they're going to be on the 13th. So Gemara asks, my time with Rabbi Yossi, what's Rabbi Yossi's reason that he says that the unwalled cities stay on the 14th, which is like our Mishnah was saying on Beis Amanav. That's what we're trying to prove. So he says, B'chal Shana V'Shana, again, the same pasuk. We say that each and every year you're supposed to read it. What does it teach us? Ma Kol Shana V'Shana, Emu Kaf and Kodmel Arayas. It's just like every year the walled cities are never before the unwalled cities. So Afkan, Emu Kaf and Kodmel Arayos. So to here, you don't have that the walled cities can go before the unwalled cities. And therefore what happens? Both the unwalled cities and the walled cities will read on the 14th, which is Friday, and the villages are going to go ahead and do like they always do. They're going to do the Yom HaKnisa, which is going to be Thursday. So, and then the same question as before, Ve'ema, V'chal Shana V'Shana, Ma Chal Shana V'Shana, Zmanu Shel Zeh, Lo Zmanu Shel Zeh, Avkan Zmanu Shel Zeh, Lo Zmanu Shel Zeh. Why don't we say that just like each and every year, where we say that you can't have the unwalled and the walled cities don't have the same day. One's on the 14th and the 15th. So why don't we move on to a different day? So our answer is Shani Hachadelo Astro, because it's impossible. You can't have that the walled city reads on the 15th because that's Shabbos. You can't have that the walled cities are going to go on Thursday because we know that the unwalled cities always go before the walled cities. So therefore, we're going to do the best that we can. We're going to put them on the same day on Friday. So the Gemara just proved that you can our Tana of our Mishnah can be Rebbe or Rebbe Yossi. Okay, next Gemara. Does Rebbe hold that the unwalled cities don't go back to Thursday? Again, when it falls out on Friday, we said that he holds that the unwalled cities will read on Friday, same as the walled cities. So does he hold that you don't go back to Thursday? Vatanya, Chalios b'Shabbos. Let's say the 14th of Adar fell out on Shabbos. Okay? So, and again, it's impossible to read on Shabbos, as we'll explain in a few lines. So, Kfar Makdim Yom HaKnisa, so the villages go back and they read on Yom HaKnisa, which is Thursday. So that means that they're reading on the 12th. Varayas Gedolos, Karm B'Rav Shabbos, and the large unwalled cities are going to read on Friday, which is the 13th. Umukafos Chom Alamachar, and the walled cities are going to read on the next day like they normally would. They read on the 15th, which is Sunday. Rebbe Omer, and Rebbe says, Omer Ani, Hov and Nidcho Arayis Mem Komon, since we had that the unwalled cities were moved from their place, because again, they're supposed to read on what day? On the 14th, which is Shabbos. So since we have to move it because you can't read it on Shabbos, Yitchu Yom HaKnisa, you're supposed to move it back. He doesn't say to move it to Friday. This price, he says move it to Thursday. So where does that come from? Gemara says, Hachi Hasha, that's not a good proof. Hasam Zmanim Shabbos. Over there in the case that we're talking about, this price that we just brought down. So the time that the unwalled cities were supposed to read was what day? Was supposed to be Shabbos. V'hov and Yidchu, and once you're moving it off from a different time, you can't read it Bismar. You can't read it in the time it's supposed to. So once it gets pushed off, then he says, if we're pushing it off already, we're going to push it off to Thursday. But here in the first case that we brought down earlier, a couple of minutes ago, that was talking about where the 14th fell out on Friday. Where the 14th fell out on Friday, Rebbe says, I agree that we should be reading on Friday, which is the regular time that you should be reading it. You don't move it up to Thursday. So, and Kaman Nazla Hadam Rav Chelba Rav Huna, Purim Shechalios b'Shabbos, Hakol Nidchen Liyam HaKnisa, that we said that if Purim falls out on Shabbos, so everyone reads on Thursday. Everyone moves back to the Yom HaKnisa. So the Gemara says, whoa, wait a second. Everyone's going to read on Thursday? That doesn't make any sense. When the 14th falls out on Shabbos, the walled cities have no problem reading on Sunday. That's the regular day that they're supposed to read. So what do you mean everyone jumps back to Thursday to the Yom HaKnisa? So our answer is, Ella, Kol HaNidcha Yitzchel Yom HaKnisa. The Brisa says that whoever does push, meaning not the walled cities, but meaning the unwalled cities and the villages, they're going to go back to the Yom HaKnisa, which is Thursday. So when it says, come on, Rabbi, it's going like Rabbi that we just said, the second price that we just said now, is that once they're pushed off from the date that they're supposed to be pushed off, so we go to the Yom HaKnisa, which is going to be Thursday. The Gemara says, the Gemara says now, this is what we've been talking about the whole Amud. The Kuli Alma, Miha, Megillah, B'Shabbos, Lo Karinon, everyone agrees, though, that on Shabbos you do not read the Megillah. My time, what's the reason that you're not reading the Megillah on Shabbos? So when it says, Amar Rabba, Hakal Chayav Mekriyas Megillah, everyone is obligated to read the Megillah, Kiyah Shofar, Ve'ein Hakal B'Kiyim B'Mikra Megillah. This is actually, I misspoke yesterday. I said yesterday that the reason why is because we're afraid that people, when they're taking the Megillah, are going to want to go to shul, they're going to take the Megillah and carry outside on air. That's not it. I misspoke. It takes a big man, by the way, to say that he made a mistake, and I am a big man. Yeah. So, So, but not everyone is an expert in how to read the Megillah. So, what's going to happen? So, we're afraid that someone's going to take the Megillah that he has and he's going to carry it. Not that everyone's going to carry it. The person who has the Megillah, who's not going to know how to read it, is going to want to go to the local expert Baal Koreh. So, he's going to carry his Megillah with him to ask the Baal Koreh, how am I supposed to read the Megillah on Shabbos? And you're not allowed to do that. If you have Rena Arba Amos for Shus Harayim, he's going to end up carrying it Arba Amos in their Shus Harayim. He's going to carry it Dalet Amos on Shabbos. And you're not allowed to do that. So therefore, they made a gzer and they said that you don't read the Megillah on Shabbos. So Gemara says, behind the time of the shofar, that's the same reason by shofar, that when Shabbos falls out on, when Rosh Hashanah falls out on Shabbos, we do not blow the shofar, right? Even though it's a mitzvah d'oraisa, and it could end up being that you're only going to blow that you're only blowing on Sunday, which is drabanan. Still, you don't blow the shofar on Sunday, on Shabbos. Behind the time of the lulav, it's the same reason for lulav also. You don't take the lulav on the first day, but rather it's muksa, because again, we're afraid you're going to carry it on Shabbos. And another reason why we say that you shouldn't read the Megillah on Shabbos, Rabbi Yosef says, he's not arguing, he's just giving another reason why you don't read the Megillah on Shabbos. Because poor people, when they start hearing that Mikra Megillah is going on, the big mitzvah of the day of Mikra Megillah is Matanas Yonim. So when the poor people hear that the Megillah is being read, they're going to get all excited that they're supposed to be getting tzedakah that's going to be handed out to them, and we don't want to disappoint them by reading the Megillah, and no one's going to have money to be able to give to them. So therefore we don't do that. Tani nami hachi afal pisha amru kvarim uktim liyom haknisa. Although we said that the villages are able to go back to the Yom HaKnisa, whatever the situation is, where they're not doing it on the 14th, but they're moving it up to a Monday or Thursday. But Govim Baba Yom, they still collect the money on that day. And they give out the money that day. So there's different things that happen on Purim. There's the Yom HaKnisa. Everything that we've been talking about up until now is that you move the reading of the Megillah up to Yom HaKnisa, which could be a Monday or Thursday. But and on that day you'll read the Megillah and you'll do Matanas Avyonim. But the celebration of Purim, the Mishloach Manos that you do, the Seudas Purim, that still takes place on whatever day Purim falls out. Whether it falls out Sunday through Shabbos, the mitzvahs of the day that you have on Purim are going to be done on Shabbos. And we were talking last night about the Purim Sholosh. So that if you have this year, right? This year is going to be a Purim Sholosh because Friday is going to here we're going to celebrate Purim here on Friday. Shabbos is going to turn out that the 15th is going to be on Shabbos. So what they're going to do in Eretz Yisrael is they're going to have people will be celebrating on Friday. They will be reading Megillah, and they're going to do Matanos of Yonim. Shabbos day they're going to do a Purim Suda, and they're going to do. I guess they do Shalach Manos also. Do they? They don't do Shalach Manos. They do. Well, they do the Suda though. Yeah, not Shalach Manos. So they're going to do the Suda on Shabbos, and according to many, they say Al Anisim when they're eating the Suda on Shabbos, and then Sunday they party. Sunday is Sunday is is a day that they have festivities, and I think I saw according to one sheet maybe that they would say no, forget that. Okay, but anyway, so that would be what's that?
Do they read Megillah Motzei Shabbos?
No, they read Megillah. They read Megillah on Friday.
How does the fast fit into all of this on Shabbos and
Thursday? You do the fast.
If you read on a Sunday, you fast on the Shabbos. Don't you fast? You move this. The fast is going to be moved back to Thursday. You can have 2 days between. You can have a day in between.
Yes. Yeah.
Just to clear, this year Shabbos is your Dalet?
No, Friday is your Dalet.
Oh.
So we're doing Purim. We're doing Purim on Friday. In Yerushalayim, they're going to do it on Shabbos. Is going to be.
So what was the comment about Sunday being a party? That's the 16th.
Because
They want to enjoy.
But there's no actual Shushan Purim on Sunday.
Shalach Manos. Oh, Shalach Manos is Sunday. They do both on Shabbos and Sunday. No, because but I read that someone said that Shabbos is also is a shtickle Suda for Purim also. So they do So they do the Suda. So they eat on Shabbos like they would their Shabbos meals. Again, I also heard that they do a Suda Purim of some sort, and then Sunday they did Suda Purim also.
But I'm so confused because we didn't say
They're not reading Tes Zion. Well, all we were talking about before was about when you read the Megillah. So the last day that you could read the Megillah is the 15th. Okay? The other things that they're talking about are talking about the celebrations that take place after that. But up until now, we've been talking about the reading of the Megillah.
Wouldn't they go to Friday, like everyone else? Why would they go to Sunday?
No, they're reading on Friday. Right?
They read on Friday.
Right, but if everyone else is eating their meal and is doing all the mitzvahs on Friday,
Because for them, Purim should be on the 15th.
so you're not going to push it off to the 16th.
Well, again, they're not pushing off the Megillah. The reading of the Megillah are doing on the 14th, and they're going to eat. That's why I think on Shabbos they do eat. On Shabbos when they eat in Yerushalayim, they say Al Anisim.
But I'm saying on Sunday it's just the meal.
Yeah,
They're not doing
yeah,
Chalk Manas.
correct. I don't. Sruli was there. I don't know, but I don't know how inebriated he was. But they give out Shalach Manas on Sunday. Okay. Okay. All right, very good. We'll stop here. So